What's up, everybody? This is Wild West from WyldStyle This is the second edition of Fanfare, hell yeah, where we come on, we talk about sports, and anything else. There's going to be other fanfares besides sports, but this is a sports edition. Uh, I know last week I did one on the Vols versus the Gators, which, as everybody's seen, if you follow the Tennessee Volunteers or if you're a Gator fan, Uh, things didn't happen the way they should have if you're a volunteer fan. And, you know, it kind of sucks. But we'll get into that. We're going to talk about a little bit of the Vols, upcoming game tomorrow versus UT Chattanooga. And then we'll go to the Nashville Predators, which I'm a very big fan of. And also we'll talk little bit about the Titans as well and how they're doing. And hopefully they'll turn things around. But anyway, we're gonna start out with the Vols, and then we'll probably take a little break. Then we'll come back with the Predators and go from there. But you know, last week was probably the best chance that the Tennessee Volunteers had against the Gators, and we lost 10-9. And I really was kind of upset uh, and everything. When it comes to the Vols, I grew up a fan. I was born and raised a Tennessee Volunteer. That's what happens right here in the South with the SEC and stuff like that. Football is is probably the number one sport here. But you know, we like baseball and basketball, but usually, football kind of over oversees everything. Even though since the Nashville Predators, the hockey is getting pretty popular here. Uh, so we'll get into that a little bit later on. But the Gators is basically the second rival, second best rival of the Tennessee Volunteers. A lot of people don't realize that it's the second, not the first. Uh, which, if you're a true Tennessee fan, all your life, it's Alabama. But we'll get in that when Alabama plays Tennessee, uh, which will probably be coming up soon. Unfortunately, a couple weeks. Um, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about last week's game, and I was really kind of upset from what I seen because we had the game won, and all of a sudden the backup quarterback comes in, and what happens? Well, lit a spark under the Gators, but at the same time, I seen a lot of bad calls, or a few of them at least, which turned the tide, if you know what I mean, for the Tennessee. And I'm gonna try not to speculate too much on uh, what I've seen, just because my opinion sometimes might not be the greatest because you're a Tennessee Vol fan, you're a sore loser, you're blaming it on the refs. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was all the refs' fault. The offense, you know, they drove the ball well until they get to the red zone and they had to kick a field goal or of course a turnover. Two turnovers that basically was the decision of the game. So and I know a lot of people probably saying it's already been questioned on a few of the sports shows where you know where is Butch Jones in Tennessee after this year, and I'm going to let you know, we still believe in Butch Jones. He's doing a great job. It's growing pains, and you just have to understand we're gonna get there one day. We're gonna really get there, and from what I understand from 247 Sports from CBS.com. Uh, we are number 8 in the growing, and they're predicting 2016 we should win the SEC championship. So there you go. In Bush Jones' 4th year, we should be able to get there. And all that good old stuff. Now, you know, the big breaking news come out, I think it was Wednesday, uh, from Georgia. Todd Gurley, the best running back in college football, has been suspended. Yeah, has been suspended and all that. And you have to go back and think, you know, Tennessee, Georgia, without Gurley, would Tennessee win? I have a feeling Tennessee would have won. But that's something that we can't take back. 3-point loss. We played an awesome game, stuff like that. So we cannot say, you know, either way. But it's like, as a Tennessee fan, you know, you really wanted, you wished that a couple of weeks ago that would happen. You know, that he got suspended. Even though I think the suspension that he got is kind of bogus in some ways. Just because, as last year, Johnny Manziel did the same thing. He only got a half-game suspension, and Todd Gurley gets an indefinite suspension for the same cause. If you don't know, it was because he signed the autograph and got money to do so. And that's a no-no. And I had to agree on both sides. If you know it's wrong, you shouldn't do it. It's in the contract when you sign the scholarship for your school. But we'll get away from that little point there. But yeah, I think, you know, just half a game. You know, that's all I ask. You know, do the same thing they did with, you know, Johnny Manziel. Because it's like, okay, now it's indefinite suspension. You can't play again. And stuff like that. And I understand that they're talking about always when it happened. You know, it don't matter. When it happened, I think they need to get all this craziness that's happening with all the uh, wrongdoing, so to speak, uh, and get that addressed. Because you don't know how much the media is getting into it to build a story. But anyway, so tomorrow Tennessee gets a no disrespect to Tennessee Chattanooga, an easy game if you say. So I'm not saying we're gonna win, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 20 to 30 point favorite. But if you're a Tennessee fan, you need this win so bad because it's not gonna get any easier because we got Ole Miss next week, tied for number 3 in the nation. They beat Alabama. Then, speaking of Alabama, we got to play Alabama the next week. And then go on the road to South Carolina, which that's a very winnable win. We should be able to win. I hope we do, because then Kentucky, and we see how Kentucky is this year. They are 4-1, first time in maybe even my lifetime. I think a few years ago they probably did it, but you know they really wasn't on the charts just because Tennessee was pretty good themselves or in a better position. But I will let you know we do got the questions and answers going up. So you can go to the questions. I'll try to answer them best I can. So and I'll let you know this is what you call fanfare. I'm a fan. I'm not an analyst. I'm not anything that can tell you what's going to go happen in the games. But you know, a lot of times the fans know more than analysts sometimes, and I'm not disrespecting any of them because a lot of them I do like listening to. Um, they do bring up awesome points and stuff like that. So, but anyway, if you got any questions or want to make a comment, I do have the questions and answers going on. Um, so you find it, just drop me a question or comment, and we'll get to it. I am Wild West from WyldStyle Radio, and I will be on playing music and everything else like that. 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. Uh, well, Saturday night later on, I guess you could say. It's early in the morning. Uh, but we are getting there. So, and there's Quagmire telling me I got some kind of message, so I'll have to see. Someone has a question. Has a question. How long have you been a fan of the Titans, the Vols, and the Preds? Okay. Well, I kind of answered the one about the Vols early on. I've been a Vols fan ever since I can remember, but I can also remember one thing, and that when I was real little, probably 4, 5, 6, I could barely remember, but I remember watching football, and I love watching it. But when I was a kid, I would always go for the home team. I wouldn't go for the white, the one that's dressed in white. And then one day, uh, there was an orange and white game. I don't know who was the white. I think it was Alabama. I could be mistaken, but I was basically too young to remember uh, who was actually playing. But then Mom said the ones in orange is Tennessee. And I said, I guess I'll go for Tennessee. So I guess right then I became a Vols fan. I probably would have been a Vols fan before, if I knew who, cause when you're like 4 or 5 years old, you didn't really know who was who. I just like watching the football game. But then once I figured out who was who, like, oh, that's Tennessee, I will be a fan. Uh, Titans fan, uh, that's one of them. Uh, I think there's a song about this, "In and Out of Love," because when it comes to professional sports, Tennessee didn't have a professional team of any kind of sports until uh, 1996/1997. I think the Preds actually opened their season before the Titans actually was the Tennessee Oilers and Tennessee Titans when they moved from Houston. So, so basically the Titans, I would like. There's times when I really didn't know who I want to be, even though because I didn't have a true team beforehand. Uh, I've been accused of being a Oakland Raiders fan just because someone gave me an Oakland Raiders jacket back in the day. Uh, and I like black and silver. I'd wear it, so everybody thought I was. And I do have someone that is actually a Raiders fan. Uh, my brother-in-law Squirrel. You might hear him on Fanfare every once in a while. So it's gonna be interesting. But he is a Raiders fan at heart. Uh, him and a lot of other people think I am, but I'm kind of like, okay, I will root for the Raiders and the Titans. Enough said, and whoever Peyton Manning is playing for. So when it comes to pros, I'm kind of like mixed hearted, but at the same time, I will root for the Titans just because it's Tennessee. I can go play. I can go see them 45 minutes away, and Predators fan I've been ever since they was organization. Uh, when they actually opened them up at the Bridgestone Arena, which used to be the Arena. Uh, it was the Gaylord Entertainment Center, the GEC. Uh, then there was the Salmaine Center. Now it's the Bridgestone Arena. So if you ever hear them four names here, we're talking about the same arena. It just craziness goes on that changes. Uh, but yeah, I've been a Preds fan. I just hadn't been able to follow them or and stuff. Because, of course, around here, uh, we're in Nashville, and we pred hockey fans are few far in between, but the Preds has actually woken up a monster. Because if you go to one of their games, it is loud and they're proud and they love it. Well, I mean, the ones that love it, and you can tell. And if you haven't never been to a Predators game, I know some people has gone and didn't like it. I understand that. But if you really want to understand the game, if you don't, go to a few games. And now I can watch it on TV just because now I understand a little bit more. I've gotten a little bit more understanding of hockey. So now it's fun to me. So I can watch it. I love it. And you can ask Annabelle Poe, the one that asked this question, how hearted I am with the Preds, and they're up there with the Vols. Titans are not up there with me. I mean, the Titans lose, okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. I mean, it does in some ways, but it's not like a Preds loss or especially a Vols loss. Vols loss. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break, and I'm gonna come back and stuff like that, and we'll get into a few other little questions. We'll talk about a little bit more about the Predators. We'll go a little bit on the Predators. I know the Vols. I'll probably talk about more of the Vols next week or the next time because it's gonna be a lot bigger game, stuff like that. But you know, I'll be right back, and we'll talk a little bit more Predators right here on Fanfare from WyldStyleRadio.com. Speaking of WyldStyleRadio.com, uh, don't forget you can tune in on WyldStyleRadio.com. Also, you can listen to on TuneIn Radio, Streama.com, and a few other places. And you can always come back to listen, and we're gonna be on Google Hangout as well for WyldStyle after parties after Wild takes air at 7 p.m. And it's crazy. So hope to see you there, but we'll be right back. What's up, everybody? If you like shopping online, you can go to WyldStyleRadio.com and you can click on the Amazon.com banners and buy all your stuff through there and help WyldStyleRadio.com out. So, also, if you're listening to WyldStyleRadio.com and you got the player from the site, and if you hear a song that you like, all you gotta do is hit the buy on Amazon, and you can buy it right there from the player, and you can get her right there and all the albums of that artist, if you please, or any other artist and songs from Amazon.com. I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit here, so uh, but I'll get her done right here. And before we get on to the next subject, got another question. Very interesting question, I guess you could say. Uh, if you had tickets to a Vols game, a Titans game, and a Preds game, and they happen on the same night at the same time, which game would you go to? Well, I guess it kind of all depends. Uh, how big the game is, for one thing. Uh, but if it's just like a regular game, uh, I would have to say the Vols for one reason. The Vols are 4 hours away. I don't get that many chances to go see the Vols. I've only seen them twice live at Neyland Stadium now. I can always go every other year to Nashville to see them play Vanderbilt, which I have thought about getting tickets to go see them play in Nashville. So, but if they was playing Vanderbilt and I had tickets to go see them, the Predators and the Titans all on the same day, which very rarely will happen, just because the Titans play on Sunday, the Vols play on Saturday, and the Predators play 3 to 4 times a week. So I would have to say I would probably still go to the Vols game, just because I don't get to see them very much live. So, and it would have to be a playoff game for the Predators or Stanley Cup if they was in the Stanley Cup for me to overpass the Vols. Uh, it's more of a what do you have a chance to see more uh, type thing with that. Cause that's just how it is, I guess, with sports. So there you go. So I guess ultimately it would be the Vols, because I could always get some more tickets for the Predators. Titans, they kind of let me down last year. Went to go see them play Jacksonville. Jacksonville was 0-9. And I said, hey, that's a good game to go to. We got a good chance to win. And what do? We lose. So, yeah, lately I haven't had a good record. I mean, before uh, I think I went after this time Titans played the Cowboys, but the other time the Cowboys went to Nashville. Uh, one of the guys at work had tickets. Uh, all I had to do was drive him up there free. All I had to do was drive, gas money. That's all. Play the Cowboys. Cowboys kicked their ass. And ever since then, when I go to any kind of professional or college, well, I hadn't been to college, so that's a good thing. But anytime I go on to the Predators, I was a for whatever. Uh, until last year, finally, and I think It was against Nashville Predators against the New Jersey Devils. Anna's gonna be kind of mad at that one because I remember she was with me. The Predators won, and I finally got that monkey off my back. But anyway, and also I gotta wear my cowboy hat too. Uh, the last two times I wore my cowboy hat, the Predators won. I'm trying to pick out a Titans game to go to this year. I was thinking about going to see them play the Browns. I'm glad I didn't. They played Jacksonville again in Nashville this week. I ain't going. Even though Jacksonville is 0-4 or 0-5, how many games they, you know, uh, I'm not going to touch it. Last year, you know, yeah, even though I kind of like, this is a good revenge game. No, I'm going to sit at home, watch it on TV. But we'll get into Titans a little bit later on. Uh, Wednesday actually kicked off the. No, you wouldn't do it. You'd miss me too much. But I was asked if I want to die tonight. Uh, no, because I wouldn't be able to see Anna before I did. So but anyway, I'll select that question and let everybody, and then now I am done with it. But anyway, we're gonna talk about the Predators this week. Wednesday, I think, was a official start of the NHL season. Last night was, or Thursday night rather, was the Predators' first game at home, and this is the first opening home game. See, I'm trying to do a show here, and I'm getting distracted. First, she wants me to die, and she said, "Oh, that's yet to be seen." Okay, whatever. I want you to face me and see if you can kill me. If you got the heart. But anyway, on to the next subject. Of course, as I said, third night, and also debut of Peter Lafayette's debut as a new Predators coach, and it didn't look good at first. It was down 1-0, and then within 4 minutes, the Predators scored 3 times, and one of the goals. And if you know Shea Weber well enough, if you hear a goal from Shea Weber, you know he just knocked it about 108 miles an hour from the blue line, and everybody getting out of the way because you don't want to get in the way of his shot because it could hurt you. But he actually done a backhand around wrap around. So that was kind of crazy, but it was a go ahead goal. We didn't look back. So so the Predators has started off on a good note in the new era, so to say, what they've been preaching around here as in Hockey Town, or well, not Hockey Town, but Predators Town. And tomorrow we got the Dallas Stars coming in, so you know how that game always goes. I mean, a couple of years ago they wasn't even in our division. Now they are in our division, and before we was in their division, it would always seem like it was a rivalry game. And now, since they're in the division, that makes it even worse because now they are a rivalry game. So I think Predators can win. Uh, they're gonna have to get better and play a complete game. Uh, and all that. But before I go on, and I gotta go back to the Ottawa Senator game, and well, we all know David Legwine. If you're a Predators fan, he was the very first draft pick of the Predators. He was always called the original Predator, and he got traded to the Detroit. Um, then he was a free agent. He signed on with the Ottawa Senators during the off season, and what a coincidence! His very first game as Ottawa Senator of the season was in Nashville. So I would have loved to been in at the game, but I didn't get to. I had to work. But but I don't know if anybody seen the video or if he was there. If he was there, you seen it live. If you was watching it on TV, it happened. He got called for a tripping. Had 2 minutes in the penalty box, and when he went to the penalty box, he went to the wrong penalty box because he was so used to going to the Nashville Predators penalty box. He went in there, and they said, "No, you got to go in another one. You're not a Predator no more." So I guess that was kind of like understandable, being there as long as he's he's been. Uh, and we do miss him. I hate that. I would have liked to seen him and Barry Trotz actually still be here. We win the Stanley Cup. That would have been. Think about the original coach, the original player of the Predators that win the Stanley Cup. I think that would have. If I was them, played. I wouldn't care if I played another game or coached another game. No, you had something to hang your hat on. Like it took me 15 years, but I finally done it with the same team. But of course, it didn't happen. Things change and everything. Was kind of sad to see him go, and I am thinking and planning on going to see Predators play uh, the Capitals when they come to town because that's Barry Trotz' new team. So anyway, we got that going on. Awesome, uh, exciting year transition with the Predators. We got James Neal up a trade from the Penguins. I think he's a great addition. We got I won't say the last names because I can't remember the full names, but Roy, Ribeiro, and there's a couple others that's came in, and I think they're doing a great job. I think Roy got a assist last night. Peter Forsberg that we got in a trade a couple years ago from the Capitals uh, for Martin Erat. As I've heard some of the people saying on TV and analysis, that was a steal, and yes, it was. It was a steal. He got two last night. Uh, Ghost got two assists. I think it was basically once they get their skates under their feet, got the skating better last night. I think they broke out, and that's how they won the game. I think tomorrow night's going to be a interesting match, and all that. And speaking of the Devils earlier, the Devils beat the Flyers last night. So the Flyers are 0-2 because they played Wednesday night and got beat by Boston. So way to go, Devils. For Anna, we'll say hell yeah. So I'll let you know. As long as the Devils and the Predators ain't playing, I'll be a Devils fan just for her because she's always a Predators fan for me. So I'm sure she ain't gonna kill me because if she tries, well, I don't know what to do. Don't know whether I run or be like a Mortal Kombat thing going on. I'm probably gonna die tonight. In her mind, at least. But anyway, we're gonna take a little on the break side here. Might touch up a little bit more on the Predators, but then we'll go on to the Titans, and then we'll go from there. So after these messages, we'll be right back. What's up, everybody? This is the last segment right here on Fanfare uh, from WyldStyleRadio.com. If you want to get your WyldStyle Radio merchandise, all you gotta do is go to Cafe Press slash okay, cafepress.com/WyldStyle Radio merch, or you can go to WyldStyles, get all the kind of stuff. So don't be afraid. We appreciate it because it does help the station and all that good stuff. And don't forget to check your schedule for all your great DJs at WyldStyleRadio.com. Now, we've been talking about the Vols, the Predators. We talked a little bit about the Titans, and this segment's going to be more about the Titans. So get ready, because we're 1-4. Titans are 1-4 this year. They won their first game against the Kansas City Chiefs and was dominating. And then the last 4 games, uh, 2 games, 3 games, it was like, wow, what happened to them? They got blown out, 30 something to 10 or 17, all through them. And they had the lead this past week against the Browns and lost 29-28. First half, you was like, oh wow, look at this, and then second half, it was like a total opposite. Couple of bad calls, of course. It was a Titans fan. If you're a Titans fan, you know it was a bad call. But it seems like it happens everywhere. So I'm not gonna get into that. Just like with the Vols versus Florida. Uh, but we do play the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we are expected to win. I think just because, but that doesn't mean we're gonna win because I've seen it happen last year. Facing an 0-9 team and getting beat. And I was there live seeing it. I just don't know. As I said earlier, I don't think that I want to go see that game again, so I'm not going to even think about going. But we do got the questions and answers going on, so if you do want to ask a question, all you got to do is hit the question thing. Tell me a question, or if you got a comment, very much appreciate it as well. So I know this is recorded, so once it's recorded, you can send me questions or comments or about anything at wildwestwsr@gmail.com or owner@wildstyleradio.com. So if you hear or see this and we are not live, that's all you got to do to get in touch with the Wild Man, Wild West, right here at Fanfare from WyldStyleRadio.com. So Bernard Pollard is going to be out for the rest of the season. I think that's a big loss. He was basically the leader of the defense. I've always liked Pollard. I mean, he's got that defensive fighting attitude. He'll stick up for his players and for the people that's on the defense. I've always liked that about him. When I came to Tennessee, I was excited about that. But he's had surgery on his Achilles. I think he had an Achilles tendon surgery. It was ruptured. We've also lost Michael Roos. So that's another 2 people that's down. And will they be back next year? That's yet to be seen. And then it comes down to Jake Locker as well. Everybody knows that the Titans did not pick up his rookie contract for this year, the option, and very understandable because he has not been able to stay healthy a full season. And he's already missed 1 game. He missed the game against the Colts because of injury, and looks like he went out again this past week after they had a great start. So if you got comment questions about that, go ahead. Uh, but I guess I'll go ahead and tell you what I think. Uh, it's questionable that he plays Sunday against the Jaguars. Uh, I mean, we hope he does. Uh, but Whitehurst don't look too bad. I mean, he's got an injured pinky, but it's a little different. You know, the thumb really helps the velocity on the ball. I haven't really played football in my life, but I have on a football, and I can see where it needs to be healthy for you to get velocity on your throws. Uh, but if you think about it, will Titans re-sign him for next year? Uh, if he misses too many games, I just don't see that happening. Especially when you got Mettenberger coming up, and he's got all the potential in the world. Uh, Coming from LSU, I mean, he can throw it 60 yards. I believe that you know there's a little threat that I think that he could become the quarterback for the Titans, if not somewhere else. Jake Locker actually can keep himself healthy and get better. I mean, it's almost like you see him get better, and as soon as he has a breakout game like last year at the Jets, that's when he initially got hurt. Then he gets hurt. So it seems like he's injury prone, and we all know, at least in my opinion, that he doesn't want to be hurt. He wants to play, and I understand that. I'm not going to say he's a bad quarterback. He's not. I think he can be just as good as Andrew Luck and the other ones that came out at the same, like coming to the draft class. So let's hope that he can get back on the field and stuff like that, and turn it around. And I think the Titans can turn it around this year. I think that it's they're in the same boat as the Predators. New coach, new system, new everything. Uh, Titans defense went from a 4-3 to a 3-4, so that's a lot different. A lot of people don't understand how hard it is changing from a 4-3 to a 3-4. It's a different system. You can ask the Tennessee Volunteers a couple years ago. I was kind of upset at that they wanted to change from a 3-4-3 to 3-4 on a time they had one of the best offenses in college football, but because you changed the defense couldn't stop the high school team. So Tennessee had to basically outscore everybody, and they couldn't because their defense, you know, couldn't handle it. But that's a story of the past. But anyway, this is closing times for fanfare, and I might do another one Sunday night or Monday sometime, or we'll be back sometime Friday. I'm going to try to pick a better time to do this besides 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, so where everybody's not going to be asleep. So, hope everybody enjoyed. I'll be on air at WyldStyleRadio.com, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 Eastern. Uh, Comments and questions, all you got to do, WyldWestWSR@gmail.com or owner at WyldStyleRadio.com, and I'll answer them as best I possibly can. Or you can send me a tweet, DJ Wild West, or Wild West at DJ Wild West on Twitter, or DJ Wild West on Facebook. You follow me all over the place. So there you go. But until next time, I want to thank everybody for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Go Vols, go Preds, go Titans. Let's get her done. Wild West signing off right here. Go hang out. Fanfare. WyldStyle Radio. DICOM.